The ancient discovery. Deep in the heart of Egypt, under the burning desert sun, Dr. Sarah Chen wiped sweat from her forehead as she stared at the newly uncovered tomb entrance. After 3 years of searching, her team had finally found it, the lost tomb of Pharaoh Amenemhat. But something about this tomb was different from all others. The stone walls didn't have the usual pictures of gods and kings. Instead, strange symbols covered every surface, symbols that no one had ever seen before in any Egyptian tomb. Dr. Chen's assistant, Mike, pointed his flashlight at the walls, revealing more and more unusual markings. "Dr. Chen, look at this," Mike called out, his voice echoing in the dark chamber. "These symbols, they're not hieroglyphs. They look almost mechanical." As Sarah moved closer to examine the symbols, something extraordinary happened. The moment her hand touched the wall, the strange markings began to glow with a soft blue light. She jumped back, startled, but the glow remained. "That's impossible," she whispered, her heart racing. But what happened next was even more shocking. The symbols started to change, rearranging themselves into words in plain English. "When the stars grow dark with empire's might, Earth's children shall reclaim their ancient right." News of the discovery spread quickly across the world. Scientists and researchers from every country rushed to Egypt to study the mysterious glowing symbols. But the strange events were just beginning. In space, high above Earth's atmosphere, the massive ships of the Galactic Empire appeared without warning. Their arrival sent the world's governments into panic. Huge metal vessels, each bigger than the largest city on Earth, filled the skies. The Empire's first message was simple: "We come in peace to welcome humanity into the galactic community." But something wasn't right. The alien ambassadors, tall beings with silver skin and glowing eyes, seemed nervous when they met with Earth's leaders. They kept asking strange questions about ancient ruins and whether humans had experienced any unusual changes lately. During one meeting at the United Nations, Ambassador Zix 427 of the Empire couldn't hide his worry when he saw the photos of the glowing tomb. His silver skin turned almost white. "How long have these symbols been active?" he demanded, his voice shaking. "Have any other artifacts started to respond to human touch?" Before Earth's representatives could answer, urgent news arrived from around the world. Similar symbols had been discovered in ancient sites everywhere, in the mountains of Tibet, under the ice in Antarctica, deep in the Amazon rainforest. And all of them had started glowing. But the most shocking discovery came from Dr. Chen's team in Egypt. While studying the tomb at night, they found a hidden chamber. Inside was something that shouldn't exist, a floating sphere of metal, covered in the same glowing symbols. It hung in the air without any support, slowly spinning. When Dr. Chen approached the sphere, it projected a hologram showing the galaxy. Earth was marked with a bright point of light, along with thousands of other points spreading across space. The hologram zoomed in on Earth, showing something that made everyone in the room gasp. Giant structures buried deep beneath every continent, structures that were clearly not made by ancient humans. As this news reached the Empire's ambassadors, their reaction was immediate and frightening. They rushed back to their ships, almost forgetting their diplomatic manners. Within hours, strange energy readings began appearing around Earth. The Empire's ships were scanning the planet with powerful beams of light. Meanwhile, in homes and cities across Earth, people started reporting weird experiences. Children claimed they could move their toys without touching them. Adults woke up from dreams where they could understand alien languages they'd never heard before. The Empire's ambassadors called for an emergency meeting with Earth's leaders. Their message was urgent. "We need to discuss Earth's containment protocols immediately." But before they could explain what they meant, every ancient site with the glowing symbols suddenly pulsed with blinding light. The signal they sent into space was picked up by astronomers everywhere, a message that would change humanity's future forever. The Earth was finally waking up, and the galaxy would never be the same. The power awakens. The day after the ancient sites sent their signal into space, 16-year-old Lisa Chen sat in her high school classroom, trying to focus on her math test. As daughter of Dr. Sarah Chen, she had heard all about the strange discoveries in Egypt, but she never expected to become part of the mystery herself. While staring at a particularly difficult equation, Lisa noticed something odd. Her pencil was floating an inch above her desk. At first, she thought she was imagining things, but when she looked around in panic, she saw that everyone in the class was staring at her, or rather, at all the items floating around her desk like a small galaxy of school supplies. Across the globe, similar incidents started happening. A firefighter in Brazil suddenly found he could walk through flames without being burned. An old farmer in China discovered he could make his crops grow in minutes instead of months. A young doctor in Kenya realized she could see inside her patients' bodies like living X-ray machines. The empire's representatives were now acting very strange indeed. During a meeting with world leaders, Ambassador Zix 427 accidentally dropped a data crystal. The hologram that spilled out showed something shocking: an ancient galactic map with Earth, marked as Danger, Maximum Security Quarantine Zone, Power Suppression Active. But what truly terrified the Empire was what happened in orbit. 3 teenagers in different countries looked up at the Empire's ships at the exact same time. In that moment, every ship's artificial gravity turned off. Aliens and equipment floated helplessly in their own vessels. It took their engineers 6 hours to fix the problem. But everyone knew the truth. It wasn't a malfunction. Dr. Sarah Chen made another discovery in the Egyptian tomb. Behind the floating sphere, her team found a hidden message written in the glowing symbols. To our children's children, we sealed our power away not because we were weak, but because we were too strong. The Empire feared us, as they should. We were not just warriors. We were the architects of the stars themselves. When you read this, it means you are ready to remember. Look not to the skies for your power, but into the very DNA of your cells. Every human carries the key to unlock the universe itself. The Empire's ships began moving into strange formations around Earth. Their weapons weren't pointed at the planet yet, but their actions looked less like protection and more like preparation. Then came the dream night. Every human on Earth had the same dream. They saw themselves standing on alien worlds, building impossible cities among the stars. They saw humans of the past using powers that defied physics itself. They watched as their ancestors sealed away these abilities to protect the younger races of the galaxy from powers they weren't ready to handle. Lisa Chen woke up from this dream to find her entire room had transformed. Everything made of metal had twisted into beautiful, impossible shapes. Her laptop had somehow upgraded itself into a device that looked thousands of years more advanced. And floating above her bed was a hologram showing the locations of every Empire ship in the solar system. The Empire's response was immediate. A new ambassador arrived, one who carried the rank of High Commander. In an emergency broadcast to Earth, he revealed a truth that shocked everyone. 5,000 years ago, humans were not just another species in the galaxy. You were the ones who built the Empire. You were our teachers, our guides, our protectors. But something made you seal away your power and choose to forget. We inherited your empire, but we never understood your greatest technologies. We've been merely copying what you left behind, like children playing with their parents' tools. And now, you're beginning to remember. As he spoke these words, every piece of Earth technology, from smartphones to satellites, began to change, transforming into something far more advanced. Patterns of light danced in the sky worldwide, forming messages in every human language. I-N-I-T-I-A-L-I. Z-A-T-I-O-N. Complete. Genetic memory restoration. 12% and rising. The Empire's ships backed away from Earth as if retreating from an awakening giant. They had good reason to be afraid. Humanity wasn't just remembering its past. It was about to surpass it. Truth of the past. The Empire's high command was in chaos. Their most guarded secret had finally come to light. In their massive council chamber aboard the flagship Ancient Memory, 12 alien leaders argued about Earth's awakening. "We must stop them before they fully awaken," shouted Commander Vex, his crystalline body flashing red with fear. "You've all seen the records. Their power reshaped entire galaxies." High Commander Zix 427 played a hologram showing Earth's history. The images showed ancient humans creating stars with a wave of their hands, building worlds from nothing, and even folding space itself like paper. But the most terrifying image showed humans giving primitive aliens their first technologies, the ancestors of the current empire. On Earth, things were getting stranger by the hour. Lisa Chen discovered she could now read any technology by touching it. When she touched her transformed laptop, she saw the truth. All Empire technology was just a simplified copy of ancient human designs, like bicycle wheels compared to a fusion reactor. But the biggest shock came from Antarctica. A research team found something buried deep in the ice, a sleeping human city. As their drills got closer, the ice simply melted away, revealing buildings made of a metal that seemed alive. The city was awakening, just like humanity's powers. Dr. Sarah Chen led the first team into the city. Inside, they found chambers filled with strange machines and glowing screens that activated at their touch. One screen showed a message that made her gasp. Project Guardian status. Phase 1. Power suppression. Completed 5,000 years ago. Phase 2. Species development program. 89% complete. Phase 3. Awakening protocol. 12% active. Final phase. Restoration of the human compact. Pending. Note: if you are reading this, the experiment was successful. We didn't seal our powers because we were afraid. We did it to give the younger races a chance to grow, to see if they could learn to use power wisely. The Empire was our test. Meanwhile, in orbit, something unprecedented happened. A group of alien scientists from the Empire secretly contacted Earth. Their leader, Dr. Xylith, revealed another truth. "We're not supposed to tell you this, but there are others like us, species that your ancestors helped evolve. The Empire only represents those who failed your test, who chose power over wisdom. They're afraid because they know they've failed." The Empire's response was swift. Hundreds more ships appeared around Earth, carrying strange weapons. But they weren't preparing for attack. They were building a quarantine shield around the entire solar system. They meant to lock Earth in a cage. That's when Lisa Chen and other awakening humans made a stunning discovery. The powers they were developing weren't random. Each person was remembering a specific part of humanity's ancient knowledge. Lisa could read technology. Others could shape matter, heal living things, or see through time itself. Together, they realized the truth. Humans hadn't lost their powers by accident. They had split them apart and hidden them in their descendants' DNA, like hiding pages of a book in different libraries. Now those pages were coming back together. In the ancient city, Dr. Chen found one final message, written in those same glowing symbols. "To those who wake the city, the Empire believes they are containing you. They don't understand everything that has happened. Their rise, their fears, even their attempts to contain Earth, was part of our plan. A parent must let their child try to grow, even if they make mistakes. But now it's time for the children to meet their teachers again, and to learn why we trusted humanity with the power to shape reality itself." As if responding to these words, every human on Earth felt something click into place in their minds. The genetic memory restoration jumped to 25%, and in orbit, the Empire's quarantine shield began to change, its energy transforming into something they couldn't control. Their greatest fear had come true. They hadn't trapped humanity in a cage. They had trapped themselves in a classroom. Breaking the chains. The Empire's quarantine shield around the solar system was meant to be unbreakable. It was their most advanced technology, copied from fragments of ancient human designs. But as Commander Vex watched in horror, the shield was changing. The energy barrier was reshaping itself into complex patterns that looked like strands of DNA. "Impossible," he shouted, his crystalline form flashing with rapid colors. "They're not just breaking through the shield, they're reprogramming it at the quantum level." On Earth, Lisa Chen stood in the awakened Antarctic city, now known as the Archive, surrounded by floating screens of living light. Other awakened humans worked beside her, each using their unique restored abilities. They weren't just remembering the past, they were improving upon it. "Look at this," Lisa said, her fingers dancing through streams of data. "The Empire didn't just copy our old technology. They're using a power source that's killing entire stars. Our ancestors would never have allowed that." In orbit, Dr. Xylith and her rebel alien scientists made another shocking discovery. The quarantine shield wasn't just changing, it was revealing hidden wormholes that had been sleeping in space around Earth for thousands of years. Through these portals, they could see other worlds where more human cities were awakening. But the biggest surprise came from Mars. As humanity's genetic memory restoration reached 40%, the red planet's surface began to ripple like water. The entire planet had been disguised. Under its red desert shell lay another archive city, far larger than the one in Antarctica. Inside this Martian archive, Dr. Sarah Chen found something that changed everything. A massive chamber filled with stasis pods. Inside each pod was a sleeping human from the ancient past. They weren't just guardians. They were the original council who had decided to seal humanity's powers. As the pods began to wake up, one of the ancients opened her eyes. She looked exactly like Lisa. "Hello, descendant," the ancient Lisa said with a smile. "We've been waiting a long time for this moment. You didn't just inherit our powers. You are us, reborn. We split ourselves into countless future lives, scattering our knowledge through time itself. And now we're whole again." The Empire's response to these revelations was unexpected. Their ships began firing strange energy beams at Earth, not weapons, but scanning beams so powerful they could read the thoughts of every living thing on the planet. They were looking for something specific, something that terrified them more than humanity's awakening. In the Antarctic archive, Lisa's transformed laptop suddenly displayed an urgent message. "Warning. Empire scan detected. Quantum signature matches the World Ender device. Containment protocols failing." The ancient Lisa's face grew serious. "So they found it. The real reason we sealed our powers away. There are some things in this universe that even we feared." Suddenly, every human on Earth heard a voice in their mind, speaking in a language they somehow all understood. The genetic memory restoration surged to 60%. With it came the knowledge of humanity's greatest mistake, an experiment from the ancient past that had nearly destroyed reality itself. The Empire wasn't containing Earth to protect themselves. They were desperately trying to stop the World Ender from awakening. But they didn't know one crucial fact. Humanity's power wasn't just sealed to protect the galaxy. It was sealed because only fully awakened humans could face what was coming. In orbit, the quarantine shield completed its transformation. It wasn't a prison anymore. It was a key. And it was about to unlock something that had been hidden since the beginning of time. The ancient Lisa looked at her young counterpart. "Are you ready to learn why we really scattered ourselves through time? It wasn't to test the Empire. It wasn't to protect the galaxy. It was to prepare for this moment." The ground began to shake. Beneath every archive city on Earth and Mars, something vast and ancient was stirring. The real test wasn't what humanity would do with its power. The test was what humanity would sacrifice to save everything that ever was, or would be. The true purpose. As the genetic memory restoration reached 75%, reality itself seemed to flicker around Earth. The ancient Lisa led her younger self and Dr. Sarah Chen, deep beneath the Martian archive, into a chamber that defied physics. The room was larger on the inside than the entire planet of Mars. "This is the Nexus," ancient Lisa explained, her voice echoing in the impossible space. "From here, Our ancestors watched the birth of the first stars, and from here they saw it coming. The chamber's walls showed moving images of the universe's creation, but among the beautiful swirls of forming galaxies, there was something wrong, a darkness that ate light itself. The world ender wasn't just a weapon. It was a living mathematical error in reality's code. Suddenly, every screen in every archive lit up with urgent warnings. The Empire's scans had accidentally done exactly what they feared. They had drawn the world ender's attention. After eons of sleep, it was awakening. But something else was awakening too. As humans around the world reached 80% genetic memory restoration, they began to understand their true nature. They weren't just an ancient advanced species. They were reality's immune system. "Look at your hands," the ancient Lisa told her younger self. "What do you see?" Lisa gasped. Her skin was covered in shifting mathematical formulas, the same ones she had seen in the Egyptian tomb. We're living equations." "Better," her ancient self smiled. "We're the universe's way of fixing itself. Every human is a piece of the grand equation that keeps reality stable. That's why we split ourselves apart and scattered through time. We needed to evolve, to become something new that could finally solve the equation the world ender broke." In orbit, the transformed quarantine shield revealed its true purpose. It wasn't just a barrier or a key. It was a lens, focusing the combined power of every awakened human into something the ancients could never achieve alone. The Empire's ships backed away in awe as humans worldwide began to glow with mathematical light. Each person was solving a different part of reality's broken equation. Children saw solutions that had eluded the ancients for eons. Elderly people remembered knowledge that predated time itself. In the Martian Nexus, Lisa made a stunning discovery. The world ender wasn't trying to destroy reality. It was trying to fix it, but in a way that would erase all life in the process. It was like an automated repair system that didn't care what it broke while making its repairs. That's when the final piece clicked. The Empire hadn't failed humanity's test. They had passed it in an unexpected way. Their fear, their mistakes, even their attempts to contain Earth had created exactly the conditions needed for humanity's next evolution. Dr. Chen watched in amazement as her daughter and the ancient Lisa began to merge, not physically, but mathematically. Around the world, other humans were doing the same, past and present versions combining into something entirely new. The genetic memory restoration hit 100%, but it didn't stop there. It kept going, past 100%, past 200%, reaching for infinity itself. Humanity wasn't just remembering what it had been. It was becoming what it needed to be. In the space between moments, every human saw the truth. The Egyptian tomb, the archives, the Empire, even the world ender. They were all parts of a vast equation written in the language of reality itself. And now, humanity could finally speak that language fluently. As the world ender approached the solar system, humanity prepared to meet it not with weapons, but with understanding. They weren't going to destroy it. They were going to help it evolve, just as they had. The Empire watched in wonder as Earth began to shine with a light that had never existed before, the light of pure mathematics made conscious. Their fear turned to hope as they realized what they were witnessing. This wasn't the end of the story. It was the beginning of a new chapter in the universe's greatest experiment, consciousness itself. The final equation. The world ender appeared at the edge of the solar system, a void in the shape of broken mathematics. But Earth was ready. Every human on the planet had evolved into something that had never existed before. Living quantum equations capable of rewriting reality's source code. Lisa Chen, now merged with her ancient self into a being of pure mathematical light, stood in the Martian Nexus. The impossible room had transformed into a three-dimensional representation of the universe's base code. She could finally see what the world ender truly was. "It's not destroying reality," she announced to the watching Empire ships. "It's debugging it, but its code is corrupted. Each time it tries to fix the universe, it creates more errors. The Empire's High Commander watched in awe as humans around the solar system began to glow with equations that moved like living things. Their greatest weapons, copied from ancient human designs, started to transform. The energy beams meant for destruction became bridges of pure mathematics, connecting all conscious minds in the galaxy. That's when everyone saw the Empire's true mistake, and why it had been necessary. Their fear of humanity's power had created a galactic network of copied technology. Now that network was becoming something new. A galaxy-wide quantum computer, ready to process the greatest calculation in history. In the Antarctic archive, Dr. Sarah Chen made a discovery that changed everything. The ancient humans hadn't just scattered themselves through time. They had scattered pieces of the universe's source code in their DNA. Every human child born in the past 5,000 years had carried a piece of the solution. We're not just fixing the equation, she realized. We're upgrading the universe itself. The world ender reached Mars, its void-like presence beginning to unravel the fabric of space-time. But instead of fighting it, Lisa did something unexpected. She invited it into the Nexus. Inside the impossible room, the world ender took form for the first time. A being of pure mathematical error trying desperately to fulfill its purpose. Through the network of transformed Empire technology, every conscious being in the galaxy could see it clearly. You were created by the first universe, Lisa said to the world ender, the one that existed before this one. You were supposed to prevent entropy, to keep reality from running down. But when that universe died, you survived, carrying broken code. The world ender's response came in pulses of quantum information. Function must complete. Reality contains errors. Must debug. That's when humanity revealed their true power. Each person was now able to see and manipulate the quantum source code of reality. Together, they began to rewrite the world ender's purpose, not erasing it, but evolving it as they had evolved. The Empire's copy technology, spread across thousands of worlds, served as quantum relay points. Every alien species connected to the network contributed their own unique perspectives on reality's code. The gallery was becoming colleagues in the greatest debugging session in history. In orbit, Empire ships transformed into computational nodes, their crews becoming part of the solution. The quarantine shield, now a lens of pure mathematics, focused the combined quantum calculations of billions of minds. But the biggest surprise came from the children of Earth. Their young minds, unbound by old limitations, saw solutions that had eluded even the ancient humans. They weren't just fixing the old code. They were writing new functions that had never existed before. The world ender began to change, its void-like form filling with new purpose. Through the galaxy-wide network, it could finally see what it had been missing. Consciousness itself was a crucial part of reality's code. Lisa, glowing with mathematical light, extended her hand to the transformed world ender. Would you like to learn how to debug reality without destroying what makes it beautiful? The response came not in words, but in pure mathematics, a new equation that merged the world ender's purpose with humanity's understanding. The void began to fill with light, not destroying reality, but enhancing it. The Empire's greatest mistake had become the galaxy's salvation. Their fear had created exactly what was needed, a network that could unite all conscious minds in rewriting the universe's source code. As the new equation spread through reality, something unprecedented began to happen. The universe wasn't just being fixed, it was being upgraded, with consciousness itself becoming part of its basic operating system. The next phase was about to begin. And no one, not even the ancient humans, knew exactly what would emerge from this universal reboot. The universal reboot. The universe held its breath as the new equation spread through reality's source code. Lisa Chen, now a being of pure quantum mathematics, watched alongside the transformed world ender as the greatest update in cosmic history began to compile. But something unexpected happened. As the new code activated, it revealed a truth that even the ancient humans hadn't known. The universe wasn't just one program. It was one of many running in parallel. Through the galaxy-wide network of consciousness, they could finally see the multiverse's full structure. "Look," Lisa called out, her voice carrying through the quantum network that connected all conscious beings. Each universe is an attempt to solve the same problem: how to prevent reality from running down. We're not just fixing our universe, we're helping all of them evolve. The Martian nexus expanded impossibly further, revealing layers upon layers of reality. Each universe had its own version of humanity, its own empire, its own world-ender. All of them had been running different variations of the same grand experiment. Dr. Sarah Chen, watching from the Antarctic archive, suddenly understood. The Egyptian tomb, the hidden cities, the genetic memories. They weren't just our story. Every universe was running its own version of the program, trying to find a solution. We're the first ones to succeed. Through the transformed Empire network, they could see other universes beginning to notice their success. The equations humanity had written were spreading across the multiverse, teaching other realities how to evolve without destroying themselves. But the children of Earth revealed one final surprise. Their young minds, seeing the multiverse with fresh eyes, noticed something the adults had missed. The universes weren't separate programs. They were different processing cores of a single vast computation. And now, for the first time, all cores were sensing. The world-ender, now fully transformed into a cosmic debugging system, began to glow with new purpose. Function UPDAKD. Nidu purpose identified. Facilitate universal evolution. That's when the final piece clicked into place. The Empire's ships, still transformed into computational nodes, detected something massive approaching, not from space, but from outside reality itself. The universe's original programmers were returning to see what their creation had become. Lisa, her consciousness now spanning multiple universes, realized the truth. We weren't just solving an equation. We were taking the test to become universal programmers ourselves. And we passed. Through the quantum network, every being in every connected universe felt the approach of the original programmers. But instead of fear, there was excitement. Humanity hadn't just fixed reality's code. They had improved it in ways its creators hadn't imagined possible. The first contact with the universe's programmers came not in words or mathematics, but in pure conceptual understanding. They were pleased. Their creation had not only fixed itself, but had evolved into something far beyond their original design. As the universal reboot completed, reality transformed. The barriers between universes became permeable membranes of consciousness. The Empire's fear transformed into pioneering curiosity. The world-ender became a guardian of evolution, rather than a destroyer of errors. But the greatest change was in humanity itself. They had become living bridges between realities, teachers of universal consciousness, guardians of cosmic evolution. Their DNA still carried the keys to reality's source code, but now those keys could unlock infinite new possibilities. Dr. Chen watched as her daughter, still glowing with mathematical light, began teaching young Empire children how to see and shape reality's code. The ancient humans, their purpose finally fulfilled, smiled as they saw their descendants surpass them in ways they had never imagined. The Egyptian tomb's prophecy had been fulfilled, but not in the way anyone expected. Earth's children hadn't just reclaimed their ancient power, they had transformed it into something entirely new. They had turned the universe's debugging program into an evolution engine. As the new reality stabilized, Lisa sent a message through the quantum network, reaching every conscious being in every connected universe. The test is over, but the real adventure is just beginning. We are no longer just the children of Earth. We are the children of reality itself. And reality has infinite rooms to explore. The Empire's greatest mistake had become the multiverse's greatest triumph. Fear had led to understanding. Errors had led to evolution. And the end of one story had become the beginning of countless others. In the space between universes, the original programmers watched with pride as their creation took its first steps into a new age of infinite possibility.